Rescue teams are constantly being called upon to respond to a wide range of disasters, from tornadoes to floods to the tragedy of 9/11. But the rescue worker with perhaps the greatest impact on a victim's chances for survival isn't a fireman, police officer, or a paramedic. It's actually a dog.
We use dogs in disaster situations because they have a high hunt drive. They're always looking for something. As a four-legged 60 or 80-pound creature, they're much more skilled to traverse large areas, to find live human victims. If your house fell, putting a 180-pound man with another 30 pounds of fire equipment on top of all of that debris, he could fall and plunge. But a disaster dog at 60 pounds with sufficient agility and a good nose and speed can search quickly, safely, and tell you whether or not anybody was buried alive.
These dogs have to work fast. Emergency medical personnel talk about the golden hour after someone suffers a major injury. Chances of survival are doubled if a victim can be transported to a trauma center within 60 minutes.
You don't want to spend time looking for somebody if there's no one there. What happened in Hurricane Katrina was the dogs were looking, and they were able to do it so quickly that they were able to tell first responders, no, there is no one buried alive. We can move on to the next search site.
But search dogs aren't just born. These dogs are trained very carefully at facilities like the National Search Dog Foundation.
Today we spent time with Eric Haslam and Glacier, and we went through some of the basic exercises that that dog does every day to keep at top level.
You ready? Huh? Today we went out to a simulated building collapse. One of the SDF people actually climbed into a void space. We then covered her up with some wooden pallets, and I sent Glacier on a search. He went up there and started back and forth in through the rubble pile, and then he committed to the scent source and started to bark.
Certain kinds of retrievers and shepherds can be bred to make good rescue dogs, but Eric's dog Glacier wasn't bred for rescuing. In fact, he wasn't actually bred for anything.
Yay! Nice search! Glacier has a great story. He was found when he was just a little over 6 months old in Montana in a dumpster looking for food. It had been snowing, so the dumpster was full of snow. Several of the Search Dog Foundation people were on a vacation back in Glacier National Park, and they saw this dog. And when they took him out and did a preliminary test, found out that he would make a perfect search dog. He was 2 days, we were told, 2 days away from being euthanized.
However, what makes Glacier so special and so particularly effective has less to do with breeding or training than it does with his ability to bond so deeply with his handler.
Climb. It's almost like profiling. They figure out what the profile of the handler is, and they match the dog and handler together. Good. They want this match to last a lifetime. We go through training together, we live together, and eventually, come retirement time, he's mine forever. Ready? Good. Climb. So today, we did what we do every couple of weeks, and we did some agility. We showed how Glacier can climb a ladder, goes across a very foreign and horrible feeling plank. Good. Go through. We showed how he went through a dark, scary tube and comes out the other end. Yay! Good job! Which kind of goes back to the rubble pile. You got to be able to send your dog through a dark, scary place to see if there's somebody buried back there. We don't know when we're going to encounter this kind of stuff out on an actual disaster. This may be the only piece of platform that we could walk across to get our dog to search another area. So we try and get them to generalize. That's a big word, is to just generalize. Walk on anything I ask you to walk on, and at the other side, there's going to be a reward. Ready? Fine.
Training rescue dogs so extensively is costly and time-consuming. Supply is only beginning to catch up with demand.
When 9/11 happened, there probably were less than 60 dogs in this country that were trained to look for live human beings trapped under debris. We now are up to 105 dogs in this country. However, to be adequately supplied, there needs to be 300 search dogs.
How can you help? Well, if you have an eye for talent, that's a pretty good start.
They're constantly looking for dogs that are good candidates, taking them into training, and then placing them with firefighters who request them.
Even if you don't know any potential rescue dogs, you can create awareness just by talking about how many lives these dogs can save.
Often, the foundation is asked, why spend $10,000 to train a dog and place a dog? And when is it used? How often is it used? What we say is that we hope never to use the dog. This dog gives victims a sense of hope that they're going to be okay, that they will be located and found and not forgotten.
Glacier's relationship to myself is somewhat unique, and I think that it's unique to the search dogs themselves. He is first and foremost my partner. We have to trust each other, just like another fireman on the engine, we have to trust each other. I think that what you're seeing in Glacier is brave, courage, but I think the bottom line is he knows and trusts me and I trust him. It's that bond that we have created together.
All this loving and all the stuff that I put you through,